Hi Jamie,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Where I want to start with, it's hopefully an easy question.
Okay.
Do you remember the first album you ever bought?
The first album I ever bought, it was possibly "Be Here Now"
Okay.
by Oasis.
Okay, and going back, do you know why this album?
I was a big fan.
Okay.
I think that was probably the first album I bought myself on cassette. I'd been given a few other albums around the same time, but I think that was the first one I bought myself. Yeah.
What was it about Oasis that did it for you?
I think, as they were so big at the time, and I just liked them. You don't know why you like music at that age, I think.
Sure. And well, in hindsight, then, do you now now being a musician yourself, do you recognize certain things? Recognize certain elements that you might have liked back then?
I don't know. I suppose so. I mean, I've always been a fan of Oasis, and I was thinking about that album the other day, actually. And well, when you're that age, you listen to music because you enjoy it. And I don't know. I think I've got fond memories of that album because I remember enjoying it so much.
Particular tracks, or?
I like the whole thing, but what was that one? All Around the World. I really like that. I remember. I listened to it not that long ago, and that was my least favourite track on the album. Though when I listened back, actually, I liked a lot of the other songs more. But I've just got fond memories of it. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But then, well, you have Oasis, but then you have, well, the type of music you make now. It's very eclectic. There's a lot of different styles. So, when did the other influences, the punk influences, the hip hop influences, when did that?
Well, around that time probably. Okay. And I have two older brothers, so I'm kind of very lucky in the sense they were quite into music. Okay. And they kind of fed me a lot of good stuff. So around that time I also remember kind of picking up Beastie Boys, Check Your Head, Paul's Boutique, those albums, which I'm still a kind of huge fan of. And Wu-Tang Forever and stuff. So around that time I kind of got into a lot of stuff that I still like to this day, really.
And well, at that time you're very much a consumer of music. When did you become or think about making music yourself? I
was quite young. I enjoyed kind of playing around on the drums. Okay. So I kind of played the drums for quite a few years. From about, I don't know, maybe the age of 10 or something like that.
Well, I wrote something down here, Bylaw 20.
Right, yeah, I was in a band, yeah.
Looking back, how good was it?
We were amazing. Okay. One of the best bands I've ever heard.
Do you have fond memories of that time?
Yeah, really fond memories. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. The years that we were together for 4 years or something like that. And yeah, great fun. Yeah, we used to rehearse. We used to play a lot of gigs, and it was a good way of starting off. We did it all ourselves, put on our own shows, and all the stuff you hear. It's a great way to kind of learn to enjoy music. And our friends used to come down to shows, and we'd pack out small venues for all our mates. So it became we became like music for the party, music for our friends, and that was kind of, I got really fond memories of it. Yeah.
Did going through that, did that prepare you for what would come later?
I suppose so, in some kind of way. I think having done all that, and also in the interim period, kind of, I got into putting on breakbeat nights and drum and bass nights at kind of bars and clubs with my friends. So we were kind of very used to putting on our own shows, and I think that was kind of useful later on, because I kind of realised that you can do it all yourself, and you don't need all these big people to sort stuff out for you. If you want to go and play a gig, you can sort it out.
Was that an important realisation?
Yeah, I think so. I think it always was to do things yourself is the best way to do them, especially in music, because you learn so much from doing it. When there's some of the kind of best times I've had, you know. I think it was really important, to learn that. Yeah.
And is that mentality, does that carry over to where you are now then, that you still try to be involved as much as you can?
I think now I try to be involved as much as I can, but I kind of lay it off a little bit on certain things these days. I had to learn to kind of let go a little bit, because I think, you know, I was maybe doing too much for a few years, and it was kind of wearing me out a bit. Now I concentrate on playing, and I concentrate on, you know, I've got trusted, I've got a good agent, she sorts that out. Sure. I try and concentrate on enjoying the gig more, you know.
Well, there's one thing I want to ask you about Panic Prevention, your debut record, because, well, obviously the album deals with, and you've talked about this, about anxiety issues. So before you kind of made that album and got to where you were, what kept you going? Because that must have been difficult, dealing with those anxiety issues and then performing in front of crowds.
Yeah, I think it was all so new in a weird way back then that it was going to be daunting anyway. But I was so excited by it all, and I was enjoying writing music, and I was very much kind of, you know, maybe I had a show on a Thursday and would want to write a new song on Wednesday for the show on Thursday. Right. So it was really kind of quite quick, and I was going out and playing half-finished songs, and the whole thing was very exciting. And that kind of took my mind off it a lot, and helped me and focused me to put my mind and energy into that, rather than, you know, letting anxiety kind of play a role. So it was kind of I dare to say like therapeutic in a way.
Well, I was going to ask, because what did songwriting do for you, and especially at that age?
It gave me a place to go, really, I suppose, and a way to concentrate on something, which was kind of half the battle, really. It was if I was concentrating and enjoying doing something, it would subside my anxiety. So it gave me kind of something. So I think I became quite obsessed with it, because it was kind of the only time I really felt relaxed, you know. So it played a big part in kind of getting me through that kind of like hill, you know, over that hill.
I don't know if you do, but have you listened to Panic Prevention recently? And if you have, how do you? What did you hear? What I
haven't listened to it in years, but I was thinking about it the other day. Actually, I'm going to listen to it in the next few months when I get round to it. But I tend not to listen to things.
How come?
A few reasons, really. I get bored. I don't. Once it's finished for me and I've released it, it's done, and I kind of want to move on to new stuff. And there's a strange sense of looking back and about it, and I worry if I listen to it, I would hate it, and you know, and go, oh no, I wish I had done this. Or, so I haven't, but I will listen to it soon. Yeah.
Well, because it's interesting what you say, because I wrote something down, so I might be way off here then. But well, Trick is your new album, and in terms of that, I've read about this, that in terms of the way you wrote it, it goes back a little bit to those earlier days. Right. In your estimation, is Trick then is it somewhat of a melancholy album for you?
I don't know. I think Carry On the Grudge, the one before, was kind of more melancholy, really. But I think there are songs on this album, on Trick, that definitely kind of come from the writing I was doing on Carry On the Grudge. So I suppose there is a bit of it in there. Yeah. I never thought of it like that when I was writing it, but in hindsight, maybe it's got a bit of a kind of downside to it. Yeah.
Well, because obviously you released also a Magnolia Melancholia, the EP, so I was thinking, but maybe I'm off with this. But
yeah, I mean, I often find that if I'm trying to do something I try and do something on one album, and maybe in hindsight, like looking back, I don't get it quite right. But then by the time I'm onto a new record, I kind of feel like I've done a bit of a better job of something. Right. and it will end up kind of on the new album. So there's a kind of fluidity to how it works. It's not always kind of cut and shut, you know.
Sure. So the songs linger and then...
Yeah, and then they kind of end up later on a record, you know.
And I want to go back just for a moment quickly to kind of the hiatus you took.
Yeah.
In about 2009, 2010. Was there a certain moment that you knew that you had to take some time off?
I think there were a few moments. I mean, I had to take some time off because I got laryngitis really badly, and that was kind of really frustrating because you kind of feel okay, but I just couldn't sing a note. And I think kind of at that moment I realised that I'd been maybe working too hard and pushing myself too much. Although that was kind of frustrating, I think that those 5 years weren't really meant to be 5 years. It was meant to take 6 months away and then go back to it. But then life kind of got in the way, and a few things happened in my personal life that kind of kept me away from music really for some time.
I won't get into your personal life, but did you miss making music?
I did, yeah. I was still kind of making music a bit, but my mind wasn't there really. My mind wasn't involved in the music as much as I wanted to. And I don't think I realised how much I missed it until I kind of released an album and then started touring again and realised that I kind of, unfortunately, it's kind of part of my identity now.
Of course.
In my fucking psyche or whatever. So I did miss it, yeah.
Was there then also a moment that you felt ready again to start making music?
No, it just happened. I just there was kind of, I just got busier and busier, and it was kind of going again, and I kind of don't know when that happened, but it was like a slow process of the ball rolling. It started rolling.